In Illustrator, go to File, Place, find the Pen Tool-exercise Assets folder, click on 4 large and small curve, click Place, click on your page. That will place the reference image. Click on empty space to deselect the reference image. In this exercise, we will connect small curves to large curves to small curves using smooth anchor points. Click on the pen tool, click on fill and choose none, click on stroke and choose a red color, 3 points. Start with step 1. Direction handles should be about a third of the length of the curve. So we click and drag the first direction handle, which is about the third of the length of this curve. Step 2 is click and drag the second direction handle. That's also about the third of the length of the curve for this curve. What that also does is it drags the direction handle for this next curve, but this direction handle is too small for this curve because we need it to be about a third of the length of this curve, and this one is much smaller than that. So step 3 is you go back to the last anchor point you made, click and drag a longer direction handle. So now this direction handle is about the third of the length of this curve. Step 4 is you click and drag to make a direction handle for this curve. That's about a third of the length of that curve. But now this direction handle is too long for the next curve. So step 5, we go back to the last anchor point we made and click and drag to make a shorter direction handle. And step 6, you drag to finish that small curve. Go to the selection tool, click on empty space to deselect this path so it doesn't get connected to the next one. You could also use the direct selection tool to click on the shape you just made and do some slight adjustments to make sure that it resembles the reference as close as possible. Click on empty space to deselect. For the next part, you pretty much do the same thing, but you just don't have all the guides. But you know that you want to drag the direction handle so that it's on the convex side of the curve. It's about a third of the length. Go to the next point. Now this direction handle is too short, so you go back to that point, click and drag a longer one. This one's too long for this curve, so you go back to that point, click and drag a shorter one. Go to the direct selection tool, click on the curve if you want to adjust it, and you could do some minor adjusting to make sure that it fits the reference as close as possible. Click on empty space to deselect, go to the pen tool, and repeat those steps again. Go to the direct selection tool, click on the curve you want to adjust, and grab the direction handles and do some minor adjusting to make sure that it fits the reference as close as possible.